The day is here. The classic pack is here for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and we kick things off with the legendary Darth Vader himself, looking absolutely astonishingly awesome. We're going to go through the entire pack here today, showcasing each and every single one of the characters. Let me know which of the 5 is your personal favorite. Holy moly, look at that. I never noticed that the reflection from the lightsaber reflects onto the actual, like, invisible wall here. That looks really cool. But let me know which of the characters in this character pack is your personal favorite. And of course, in addition to that, guys, if you can, please support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button. That would be very much appreciated. So first and foremost, we have the legendary Darth Vader. Welcome to Mos Espa. I'm not even sure what happened there. I think I might have picked up that kyber brick by mistake, but that's neat, I suppose. Then we have the legendary Luke Skywalker. Looking very cool indeed. I love that classic yellow Lego design. It's just so cool to see. Of course, still modernized for the new age. Still has that weathering effect going on, which is just brilliant looking. So very cool to see as well. The next character is going to be the legendary Scoundrel of the Galaxy. It will be Han Solo himself, looking absolutely astonishingly awesome. Just a really cool design as well, and a really cool animation, might I add. Another absolute classic here is, of course, Princess Leia. I just now realized her, like, are those her eyebrows or are those her eyelashes? I'm not sure, but they look so thin there. It's like, holy moly. At first, I was like, what's going on there? But those are eyelashes, I think. But regardless, there is the classic Leia design. Boy, oh boy, have we come a long way. You'll see some comparisons here in a moment. By the way, this actual, like, stud shooter or blaster is actually pretty cool looking. It still holds up and still looks pretty neat as just an item itself. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have the legendary Lando Calrissian. Looking absolutely epic. Very cool to see that classic design for Lando as well. Still sporting his absolutely redonkulously epic cape. And of course, the blaster in hand, ready to take down some gonk droids and others in the meantime. Now, with that in mind, it is time to go on ahead and get these guys all lined up. Here's all of them together in one little area, which is pretty freaking cool. There's Vader, there's Luke, there's Leia, of course, and most certainly there is Han. But I also want to go on ahead and do a bit of a comparison between the most modern and the classic design. So let's do that, shall we? And here we have the two Landos side by side. It's really fascinating to see how much has changed, even though, I mean, essentially, obviously the designs are still quite similar, but it's just interesting to see how much more detail there are in the minifigures now, like whether it be the hair actually being sculpted in, the actual coloring design. Interestingly enough, the print work and the intricacy of the print work on the tool belt or the belt is actually a bit more intricate on the classic design, which is very surprising. And one other thing that I'd never picked up on is the fact that they actually have 2 different colored capes until you see them side by side. So it's really cool to see all these little differences between the two Landos. Now with Leia, we see a ton of differences. First and foremost, she now has eyebrows or lashes and eyebrows. I'm not 100% certain which is which. You can see the intricacies of the print detail are way different. And in addition to that, the leg piece is completely different. One, in the modern one, it actually is made to look like a skirt instead of the previous design where it's just a leg piece. In addition to that, there's a lot more intricacy on the belt print. So that's really cool to see. Even the back print gets a ton of attention, and to include that hood that she wears as well. Whereas on the classic design, that is obviously not present. But the hair, oddly enough, is actually quite similar between the two designs. Now, with Han Solo, good googly moogly, there are a lot of differences. Even though there's obviously a lot of similarities in the overall design aspect of the character, it's just really cool to once again see how far we have come as far as the evolution of these figurines and the attention to detail that they get. I mean, the hair is completely different print work for the face. The actual outfit gets a lot more detail than before. Oddly enough, the leg piece is actually quite similar between the two designs, so there's not a huge difference there between the two. And then, of course, there is actual print work on the back of the modern Han Solo, whereas the classic one does not get that particular detail. Plus, with the modern one, they actually include the new blaster, or the more accurate blaster for him, whereas classic Solo uses that classic Lego stud blaster that was available for pretty much every character in Star Wars. And here we have the two Lukes, or I guess pilot Lukes, and this is one of the figurines that has the biggest amount of changes. There's just so much more attention to detail with the modern design versus the classic one. You can see that the classic design is just so much more simplified than the actual modern design, where there's certain inclusions like the goggle print over top of the eyes, the chin strap is there, the actual attention to detail on the entire apparatus over on the chest, like the breathing mask and all that stuff. It's just crazy how much more stuff they include in that. Of course, the one interesting detail between these two designs is that the Luke Skywalker that is the classic one actually has the lightsaber hilt on the side of the leg, whereas this Rebel pilot Luke actually includes the blaster on the side of the leg. So a bit of a difference there between the two designs. Let me know which one you prefer. Do you go classic Luke, or would you choose the more modern take? And finally, we have our two Vaders side by side. I know you're probably thinking, hey, which one is which? Well, actually, it is shocking to see how closely correlated the two still are this many years apart. I mean, these two designs are 20 years apart. That's crazy. But obviously, if you start paying attention to some details, you will notice some differences, like the print work on the right-hand figurine is obviously a little bit more detailed on the arms, on the legs. Interestingly enough, have you ever noticed that the little apparatus on his chest and the little belt buckle actually has an animation built in? I've always found that to be really cool attention to detail. And then the other thing that is obviously very, very, very identifiable is the fact that the classic Vader, which is the one on the left, if you haven't figured that out yet, is got a different mask. Actually, he's actually wearing kind of a mask that's a bit more like squished in, whereas the modern Vader, his mask is a little bit more elongated and is almost split into two pieces. So you have the lower part and then the top part that kind of slips over it, whereas the classic Vader just has one piece that just goes over top as a helmet. So let me know which of those two you like best. And so there you have it. That is the entire brand new classic pack. It is containing a Luke Skywalker, Leia, of course the legendary Lando Calrissian, Vader and Han Solo are also there. So you've got yourself one brand new hero character, you've got yourself one brand new Sith character, two brand new scoundrels, and of course a Jedi as well. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll catch you all here on the next one, which by the way is going to be a Rogue One showcase.